It's Week 8 of the NFL, and we'll see Foye Oluwakan. He's been a terror in the pass rush all year, to the tune of 12 sacks so far. It's the Jags and the Packers under the lights on Sunday night.
Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the...
The Jags defense set to go here, coming off a game where they allowed just 3 points last time out. And the one we'll be watching is this man at corner.
And he really played well last week. This whole defense did, as a matter of fact. Anytime you can hold your opponent under 10 points, you've got a great chance to come away with a victory, and that's exactly what they did.
Off the play fake, Love. And this one is incomplete. You look at this Jaguar defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that tough rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They lead 7-0. Trying to put a stop together here as this drive starts with a first down. Jordan Love ready on first down here. Pressure comes and down he goes. Now hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Working out of the gun. Love. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays that we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. And they'll begin by trying to defend a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Love now to pass on first down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Drake Jackson able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. A throw over the middle, taken in. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Love looking to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here in this first quarter.
And partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They've looked good so far. This whole team has, for that matter, in the midst of a big first half as this next drive begins 1st and 10.
Ready.
Love back to it here after the pick 6. His throw incomplete. You look at this Jaguar defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
$17-0 our score after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Ready, set.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They'll have to defend the short field here as this drive begins with a 1st and 10.
Ready, straight.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Love going to give this one to Jones. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. That result really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the '85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They'll start by looking at a 1st and 10 at the 25. First down, going to the air with Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They'll try to put together a stop as this drive begins with a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Love. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Drake Jackson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Justin Herbert excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, it's a short trip in the Sunshine State down to Miami, as the Dolphins are at home as well. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Zach Wilson leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They'll see what they can do in trying to force a stop as this drive starts 1st and 10.
Ready.
First down, Love to pass. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Again, it's Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. To throw now. Here's Love. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Drake Jackson drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. And after their guys were forced to punt a moment ago, they'll try to force one of their own here as this drive begins with a 1st down.
Ready.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it, and they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They've done a really nice job of slowing the tempo of this offense, and as a result, they've got a comfortable third quarter lead as this next drive begins, 1st and 10.
Blue check. Yellow, line.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing. Love. Caught on the right side by Jones. Only able to gain a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Down. Ready.
Here's Love. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. That's into the hands of DeBose. And he's trying to get as much as he can. Boy, a lot's going to depend on the spot. But they're going to give it to him. He needed 5. He didn't get much more than that. But it's enough in a 1st down. Love. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And 3rd and 8 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Ready.
On 3rd down, Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. Give him 30 yards there.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They'll be summoned one more time here in the final minute of this football game.
Ready. Ready, ready, ready.
Love now. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Trayvon Walker charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better, had time to survey the field, and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Ready.
Third and long for Love. And he wisely will throw that one away.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether